So I'm finally going to start on part 2 of the blaster build. Basically part 2 is just rebuilding the engine. This is how I got it when I bought the bike for $500. The head was off, piston was broken, the rod in this bearing here is totally frozen, seized up, whatever you want to call it. But the actual crankshaft, I believe it's called, spins nicely. It doesn't feel like anything's wrong with it. It's just this shit in here. So the case is fully intact. We need to split it open, which is why I bought this case splitter off of eBay. And then I also bought a flywheel puller. So I believe that's everything I need to take this apart. Yeah, we might be able to reuse this head, I'm not sure. But I'm finally going to go ahead and start taking this thing apart. I know it's been a long time. I took about 5 months off of working on the four-wheeler stuff just because I've been working on my house in the garage. I finally tore down that office room. And it's big in here now, plenty of room. So go ahead and figured I'd start on this project again. So I guess the first thing I'll do is take out all the case bolts. There's one there, Allen head one. One's already missing from there. This one's an old Phillips head that's stripped out, but I kind of got it loose already, as you can see there, so I'll just get it the rest of the way out. Looks like an Allen head there. Another Allen head down there. An Allen head bolt right there. So yeah, I'll get all those bolts out and then I'll try to figure out how the hell to use this case opener thing. Alright, so got the case bolts out. There was 6 of them. Well, there was one missing also, so I guess there should be 7. But yeah, case bolts are out, and we'll jump on the next step. I'm going to go ahead and take the sprocket off. So before I take the sprocket off, I just want to point out how loose it is. Can you see that? Is this supposed to be like that just when it's mounted on there? Because the bolts are tight, but it's still kind of loose. I want to know if anyone knows if it's supposed to be like that or not. But anyways, I gotta take it off. Got the sprocket assembly off. Alright, I got the shifter arm off. I'm not sure if I needed to take that off or not, but I did it anyways. I was just cleaning up the top a little bit. It was really oily. Now I'm going to try to take off all this shit here. Yeah, so let's get this off and then go from there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this bolt off here, and then I think we can put our little flywheel puller thing on there, and then I think it should be able to pull this thing out. I'll let you know how it goes. Got the bolt off. It was super easy. There's the bolt. Just use a 17mm socket. Super easy if you have an impact. And then so now I'm going to go ahead and thread this in to there. Might be reverse, so check. Yeah, it seems to be a reverse thread. Then once it stops, this is going to be a clockwise thread. So yeah, let me thread this down and see if this thing starts to pull out. Alright, so real quick, I found that it works to thread this piece in without this piece in. So just reverse thread this in there, and then now we're going to go ahead and stick this on there. And then it's going to be a regular clockwise thread. So let's see, okay, bottomed out now. So now I can either use an impact or I can use a ratchet. I'm going to try to use a ratchet first just so I can kind of get a feel for how tight this thing is and stuff. So let me put a ratchet on there and then I'll get back with you guys. Alright, so I didn't even have to use the impact. It was actually not that tight. I just put this on and kind of cranked it over. It was a little tight, and then I just gave it some more strength and it popped loose. So now And by the way, it was also the same 17 millimeter socket I used to take off the bolt. It works on here too. So yeah, so now we'll just thread this. As you can see, it's coming up. Okay, as you've seen, just lift it right out. So the little tool I bought was a Flywheel Puller from Motion Pro. Shout out Motion Pro. This thing worked really good. Threads are great, and it looks like you guys, kind of looks like it was machined instead of cast, which is nice. So a nice little product from these guys. Okay, cool. Now we got that out. What the hell is that? Do you see that? It's a magnet. That shouldn't be right there. That goes... I gotta figure out where this magnet goes. Huh. Yeah, let me look at this thing and I'll get back with you guys. Yeah, so now that this is out of the way, we're left with this. I took these two bolts right here out from here and here, and it seems to let this whole assembly here pull out. So give it a wiggle. Alright, so this is out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is called the magneto, or this is some type of magneto system. Anyways, I don't know too much about engines, but just a little bit. And then I believe this was the flywheel, I guess, or some shit. Anyway, so we're left with this. I'm assuming that I take this, that, and that screw out. That's all I really see there. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and take those screws out. And yeah, we'll go from there. I was using my, where's it at? This really fat bit right here. See how fat that Phillips head is? Because these, somebody had already kind of stripped them out a little, as you can see. They look like shit. So I stuck that fat bit in there, kind of used my hammer, kind of hit it in a little bit, and then just took the impact and kind of just cranked it, and they pulled out nice and easy. So I'm gonna hopefully do that on these same ones, because as you see, the condition of those Phillips screws aren't that good either. Yeah, this case has obviously been opened before. Not by me, but somebody rebuilt it once. So let's get those Phillips heads out. And again, like I said before, we'll go from there. So I took that really fat Phillips head bit, I put it on there, kind of took my little hammer, gave it a tap. Now it's really firm in there. It's not going to fall off. As you can see, I'm hitting it with my nail. It doesn't want to fall out. It's really firm on there. So I'm going to take the impact, put it on that, kind of hold some pressure on it. Hopefully it comes out. Alright, it took it out. Perfect. My fear is stripping these. That's why I'm kind of going through the measure of putting the really fat Phillips head, hitting it with the hammer a little bit, and trying to get it stuck in there, because I really don't want to strip these, because they obviously are going to have to go back in and be tightened and used. So yeah, let me try that same method on these last two Phillips, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, cool. That same method worked perfect on those last two bolts. They're right there. Hopefully we'll be able to tighten them back in there when we're done. I'm not really sure what the next step is here. I mean, I'm assuming it seems like this right case is ready to come out. I don't see any more bolts on here. Maybe it's time to hook up that case splitter. I'm going to take a little better look at this, maybe even do some research, and then get back with you. Alright, now that I got this side like that, I'm just going to leave it alone, turn it around, and then I'm going to see if I can get this whole side off. Alright, just took that little cover off. The oil injection thing looks pretty damn clean. Alright, cool. So See if I can get that off. So just after taking those two little screws off, the little oil injection thing just pulls right out. Just put a little towel under it because some oil is about to come out of there when you pull it out. Alright, so before I get to all these really chewed up Phillips bolts out, I'm going to take this Kickstarter off. But man, look at them bolts. Holy shit, I think I'm going to buy a whole new set for this whole engine. Alright, so all these little case bolts on this side are taken out. But it's probably going to give me a hard time getting this case side off because someone used a lot of silicone all the way around this black case here. So it's really stuck on there. I'm going to have to try to find something to pry in between there maybe and kind of get it out of there. But I think that's everything I need to take off is literally just the oil thing, the kickstart, and pretty much that's it. So let me try to pry something in there maybe and we'll see how that goes. I ended up just turning the engine upside down because I noticed it was oily down here, so I figured that was where the worst seal was. And then I ended up just taking this flathead here. There was a lip right here, so I put it up against the lip, kind of just gently tapped it with the hammer, you know, all in this area here, and eventually just kind of popped loose. I figured the bottom was the best place because, like I said, it was oily down here, so obviously it wasn't sealed very well on the bottom part, and it worked out. So let me just get it the rest of the way off and that part will be done. Well, I got the case off and I'm kind of just inspecting all this stuff. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here, but there's a few things that kind of caught my eye right away. If you look here, you got a bolt missing here and a spring. There's supposed to be a spring and a bolt just like these, I believe. So why is that missing? Who knows? And then if you come up here, you can see all this damage. I think they call this a clutch basket. You can just see it's got damage on it. Why? I don't know. Should I leave it like that and just build it like that? Or should I get a new clutch basket? I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Other than that, I don't really see anything else that looks damaged or messed up. You know, everything else seems to look fine. Just this, I kind of noticed that. Here, let me move this light. If you come right here, you can see how this gear kind of doesn't line up very well with this gear. But I'm not sure if that's just how they came from the factory. I don't know. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any experience with this, if that looks right or not. Looks kind of funny to me. I don't know why they would design an engine where this sprocket is kind of more in than that one. And then you got all this extra out here. Don't know what that's about, but yeah. And then what's up with this? Who knows? So let's continue taking this apart. So I just took off the little bolts with the little springs, and then there was a center bolt right here in the middle. Took that off, and then the whole clutch, all the little clutch discs, I pulled them all out at the same time, left them in order, and then just dropped it right in here with all of them in order, so that way I know which way they go when I put them back in. So now I just got to take this off. So I took this bolt out and this one out, and then I was able to pull this out from here. And then now I'm just trying to get this piece out. But as you see, it needs to be turned just so perfect to where it'll come in between those splines. Alright, so for now I put the clutch basket assembly in a bag. I'm down to this right here. So I think before I take this little C clip or whatever that shit is in there, I'm going to take this little gear off with a little, I got to get that off. Got these little pliers here. I'm gonna get that, what do you call it, a C-clip or a C-clamp, or I don't know what the fuck you call it. But anyways, get that off, and then I'm gonna try to get this off in here. So I got basically all the gears off now. I just, took pictures of each one, the way it was, and then just took them off. Put all of them in their own separate little baggies. I saved this one for last because it looks hella confusing. It's got springs and star, whatever crap that is, another spring. It looks pretty confusing, so I'm doing this one last. I'm going to do it right now. But yeah, everything's there or in their own bags. All the different gears. That way when I put it all back together, it's real straightforward and I won't, have a hard time remembering. But let me get this one off. So that weird looking piece that was right here in front of this thing was just the shifter arm. It went through this little hole all the way to the other side. So I just pulled it straight out. There was no bolts needed to come off or anything. You just pull it out. And then now I just need to finish getting this off. Let's see, it looks like it's just that bolt there. I just noticed something that looks kind of funny though. The star is missing a piece. Right there, look at that. Is it supposed to be like that? I'm guessing it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, that's pretty weird. Yeah, I gotta check on that. Yeah, let's get it off. So I'm pretty sure I got everything off now to be able to split the case. I took everything off here. I guess this stays. This is the shifter thing. So, and I guess the star pattern has to stay inside of these little notches. Don't try to split it, I guess, with it like this because you can break the case or whatever. So I was doing a little research and they said to split it with it about right there. That way it can slide right through there. So yeah, I'm not sure if I need to take something off here before I split it or not. I don't know. I'm gonna try to split it with that there, whatever that is, because it doesn't seem like it wants to come off. So I'll just try to start splitting it and see what happens. So before I split the case, I need your guys' help. So I lifted up the whole engine and this thing fell out. This little rod. Now it either went in here, because it fits in there, or it went in here, because it also fits in there. I don't know where it fell out because I wasn't looking when I had lifted it up. I just heard it hit the desk, and then I'm like, oh shit, where the hell did this come from? It doesn't fit anywhere else. Doesn't fit in there. It only fits in here and in here. I mean in here. So if anyone can let me know where this goes, that'd be great. And just a quick reminder about this engine. This rod right here cannot pull up. It just, all you can do is go like this. But it's totally frozen. It won't go up and down. It's just like this, that's it. So that's what we're dealing with here. This is how I'm going to set up the case splitter on this. I'm going to start on this side where the black case was. And just going to start cranking this. And hopefully we can see the case start separating. I'm going to go ahead and try to put a link in the description for this and for the other parts I got. The flywheel puller and then the flywheel installer. I'll try to put all that in the description because you pretty much need those three things to do this on this motor. So let me start cranking this and we will see what happens. can already see it starting to open on that side. But this side's still stuck. Let me see what I can do. So I had to turn it kind of sideways, and then I took the rubber mallet and started hitting right here. And then it started separating this side too. So now it's separating even all the way around. So now I just got to crank down a little more. Keep in mind, once the case starts to split open, oil is getting all over the place, so I had to put down some towels. Sorry, trying to do this with one hand, it's kind of hard. So right away, as I split the cases open, this piece of metal falls out. I'm not sure what the hell it goes to. I don't know. I don't know what it goes to, but it was in there. It looks dry though. I think this was... I don't think it was in the case. I think it was somewhere else stuck, but yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. And then right away this little shift fork or whatever it's called fell out, so I'm gonna have to have fun trying to figure out where it went. There's one already in there, so when I put this engine back together, I'm gonna have to figure out what sprocket it connects to. I'm not really sure. If anybody knows, please let me know. But that's for when I put it back in with this little rod here. Yeah, look at that look at that rust. So as I said before, this can spin, but this rod cannot come up. It's totally frozen in there and broken and all kinds of stuff. So yep, let's try to pull this out. Now I got the special tool set up again because I'm going to try to use it to push out the rod and the crank. So let's see if it works. Okay, I actually already see it pulling out. Alright, I believe it is out all the way. Let me set the, oh shit. Set the camera down. Oh yeah, this bearing right here is like, seems like it's locked up or something. It barely wants to move. Not sure if it's just rust because it's been sitting, or if this bearing has a problem. I think it does have a problem. It doesn't want to go any more than that. Huh. I guess I'll be ordering a bearing for this. Yep, definitely. Here's the crank. You can see in there where the rod's actually broken. I don't know if you can see that, but you can definitely see how bent it is. And then that bearing's just totally whacked. Oh, you can see, look at that. What the hell is that? This is crazy. So that's where the rod, so this right here was supposed to go up and towards touching that. It's supposed to wrap around this bearing, I guess, but it kind of ripped itself off and then bent itself in there. Wow. It's crazy. Interesting. Alright. So that's pretty much all I can do for now on the blaster. I got the problems out. This was the main problem. That and the fact that this bearing is seized up. It doesn't turn. So I ordered a bottom end kit, which comes with this assembly. It comes with this bearing and then a gasket. I ordered that, and then I also ordered a new piston, same size as this one. And so now all I have to do now is just pretty much wait, until I get here. I also ordered a spring and a screw for that clutch basket since it was missing one, so I had to order that too. That's pretty much it. So I took it apart as much as I want to. And then as soon as these get here, I'll do a part 3 on the blaster. Part 3 will probably just be putting this all back together, putting it in the four-wheeler, and then seeing if it runs. There she is, waiting patiently for the new motor. Or actually, it's not a new motor, but it's just a motor rebuild. I still got to paint these front rims black to match the back ones. And then I still got to paint the 2 front fenders. I got to paint this. And that's already done. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's got a little bit of sparkle to it. That's what these are going to look like later.